Information provided in this video. Always remember that a crucial part of removing personal confusion is understanding his or her unique source of it. This is a story about us trying to get a public skate park in this town. So in 1997, the first move was just to build one without permission. It's called a DIY park. I didn't start it, but I certainly came along, and me and this other guy named Troy basically wound up doing the lion's share of the work. The park was there from 97 to 05, and a year after it was built, the city said they were going to tear it down, but they wound up tearing it down much later. And you got to understand that skateboarding is generally an unlicensed, illegal activity, unaccepted. So we're kind of desperate to gain acceptance, and that's what we were trying to do with that park. We thought if we build it nice, they'll accept us and they'll believe in it, So anyway, they tore it down. We were super depressed, and then in like 08, I think about then, a new city councilman gets elected who revives the idea of building one, because they had promised to build us one when they tore it down, but they still hadn't done it. And there's still not one today. They visited the liability issue, and they said, hey, it looks like it's not a problem as long as it's properly maintained. So then I had this idea, like, how can I get involved and get this ball rolling? So I built another DIY park on a public park, and it worked. I don't know, maybe I could have gone about it another way, but he approached me. He's like, let's do this, but let's do this right. And I was like, okay. They nicely moved it to the city impound lot. They nicely asked me to come get it. Everything's nice. So anyway, then he's like, what about maintenance? Because that's the whole liability thing. And I was like, well, we built out of concrete. There's no maintenance. Yeah, in case you didn't know that, guys. So then I go around talking to the city officials, and there's basically all these conundrums. They want it located at this good location, this inside town, at this public park. But there's no room there, and there's water issues. And I could bring in a guy who'll, say that it'll work there, but, they have to dedicate $1,000 to bring in that guy, and they don't want to dedicate $1,000 to something unless they know it'll work. Or we could build it out of the recreation department, which is way outside of town, which is not an ideal location for kids and everyone who'll be coming up on foot. But there's plenty of room. Also, we have no money. So then one night, I'm street skating with a friend, and I see a little patch of concrete, and I think, why can't we get a little patch of concrete? And then I had an epiphany. They build giant soccer complexes. They build all these huge things. But what if we just ask for something small? Why don't they let us build the DIY spot properly out of concrete with the quarter pipe and the flat bar and the box? That's it. That'll cost about $2,500 for the materials and the tools, and then we'll have no problem getting expert volunteers to help with this, because there's plenty of support. And the city's perspective is like, oh, okay, they love the idea, because it fits in that space. As soon as they saw the 3D model that skatepark.org got me, thank you, skatepark.org, they were all over it. They wanted to do it. They are slow with some things. They said, we're going to have our technical guy look at it with you. He's going to come up with a rough draft for us to look over. You're going to approve it, and then it's going to go up to us for approval. But by the time it gets to City Council for a vote, it's pretty much a done deal. They've already decided how they're going to vote by the time they actually vote. And that took 9 months. Last month in March is when I finally got the rough draft. But this small spot is going to be cheap. We're going to build it, and then it's going to be a rallying point to show, well, how much need is there? Do we need a $200,000 park? Do we need a $100,000 park? And what I hope is we can keep the small spot and then build a bigger park out of the recreation department, and then our city winds up with two things. But this small spot, no brainer. So I'll let you know when it's happening. You should be looking at pictures of the rough draft of the work that the city actually did. And it's happening. So I'll show you when the work starts. Thanks, bye.